Yo, what up everyone? Well, my last video, I had a problem with my clutch slipping, and I thought it was because my clutch cable needed adjustment. After I did that and I thought I fixed the problem, unfortunately, when I got to about highway speeds of 55, 65 miles an hour, I noticed that no matter how much I throttled and the revs went high, my acceleration was slow. And that actually started happening down to street levels, 40 miles an hour, where even though I was revving high, my acceleration was slow and I can't go any faster. And I talked to a buddy of mine who's a bike mechanic, and I told him what was happening. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's the first red flag, your clutch is going and everything's downhill from there. Not what I want to hear. So in this video, even though it's going to be bike specific on how to take stuff apart, there's going to be a lot of general bike stuff that you can use to just basically change out your own clutch plates, and you could do it on your own bike. So I'm really excited. There's a lot of stuff that I got to do, but let's get started. My engine, or my bike, is liquid cooled, and the oil is shared between the engine and also the clutch. And my water pump is in here. So two things I have to do: drain the oil and then drain the coolant. So the procedure of draining the oil to do an oil change applies to this video, and then also same thing of changing out your coolant as well. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and level my bike on the other side. I have it on the kickstand. I'm gonna put a 2x4 or some wood under there to kind of level my bike off a little bit. And then I'm gonna go ahead and drain the oil, then wait 2-3 hours for the coolant to do that, and then I go through the procedure of draining the coolant. All right, so step 2, I have to take the exhaust off in order to get to the clutch cover and also to the clutch cable, everything that's down there, to take this all off. All right, so the next step is to remove the clutch cable from the clutch cover. So next step, this part of the frame is called the down tube. Remove that out. There's no way to get around that. And then, well, drain the coolant, which has been waiting for the 2 hours to cool down so I could finally drain the coolant because the water pump is in here. So, all right, here we go. So we were able to take everything off. Then we had to take the down tube off, the exhaust, everything, just to get to this. Now, the next step is, let's crack it open. All right, so we're taking these bolts off evenly. So we're like quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, all the way around. These bolts here are all different sizes. So what we did was we drew a diagram of our clutch cover, and where we take out the bolt, like say I took this one out and I put it in the cardboard, like just like this, to keep track of them so we don't mess up the length. All right, here's the next step. We're gonna move the crankcase lever to the rear. There we go. And then we have to pull this out evenly. Here we go. Ready? Yep. Yep. Oh, there goes some oil. This comes out of the port. There we go, I got it. There we go. Just move it out. Yeah, wow, look at that. Nice. It's got the, there's the clutch. Now only thing I have to do is go in there. So this is the water pump where the coolant goes. This is the clutch with the clutch plates, the friction plates. And that's what's been going bad, I hope, that caused all the slipping. All right, so cross pattern evenly, quarter turn at a time, unloading the, what do you call it, the clutch cover, so that it doesn't bend or anything like that. All right, let's go ahead and start taking these bolts out. There you go. We got the clutch spring and bolt. Go put them down. Oop. I got fat fingers. Uh-oh. Now the whole thing is we got to take the clutch plate off and make sure the push rod stays in place. Oh, it's all good. Does have to come out anyway. All right. There's that. This is the push rod. Okay. So that needs to come back out. All right, so here's the friction plates. One thing I saw in another YouTube video was that they certainly have marks on these. Like you see, this one has a white mark right here. And there might be other marks on my replacement clutches. But what we do is when you take these out, we have to lay them down in order so we remember that the clutch plates that we replace with, they go back in the same order as these are already in.
White mark for reference, which is about the 1130 position. And we got a white mark on this first one, which is at about 12. Pulling this one off first. Comes out, and laying down. 12 and 5.
All right. So they look like they alternate from friction plate to steel. And then we end up using a pick if you can't use your fingers. Here's a steel. Wow, that's really discolored. Holy smokes. That's supposed to be like silver. This clutch is burnt. And of course, since I do a lot of Moto Jitsu, I need something that's a high performance clutch. So what I did was, again, I got EBC SRK Kevlar lined, not carbon fiber, because I did some research. Carbon fiber is great for high performance and heat, but the problem is it doesn't last as long as Kevlar. So we got all the friction plates and steel plates out. They are absolutely burnt. Look at that. Look at that. That's absolutely just gone. And of course, we're cleaning out the inside, just wiping it down. There's like this, if you feel it, there's like a grit in there. So we're just kind of checking everything out, make sure there's no gouges, disrupt the operation of the clutch. Because if you get like pitting or gouging, it'll cause your clutch not to, smoothly operate. It'll bind up and get binded up in certain places. Right now we're just wiping everything out, make sure it's all clean. Then we're going to start putting in the new plates. All right, so here's my fresh clutch plates from EBC, and these are the SRK series, which is Kevlar lined. Now check this out. So these are my steels. This is what steels are supposed to look like. Look at that. See that? Look at that silver compared to that one. Look at the difference between the two steels. That's the way it's supposed to look. That's not the way it's supposed to look. And so I've been having my clutch plates. You're supposed to let them soak for a couple hours before you install them. But look at this, side by side. Look at the difference. Damn, right? Nice contact patches. Not good contact patches. So it's time to put these back in this order. These have to go this order back in there. So first one, got friction plate on the outside. Next one, since our steels, we're just gonna dip them in some oil so that they're just lubricated, because you can't really soak steel. There we go. Put that in there where the teeth line up. Cool. So we have 8 frictions and 7 steels. So this is going to be friction number 2. And we just make sure we put them back in the same way we took the other ones out. All right. We got our 8 friction plates and 7 steel plates in, alternating. Now next, we are going to put the clutch cover back on. And then I got these new springs that came in with the box, and these are supposed to be more high performance and heavy duty. It's good. And these OEM ones. So that's what we're going to replace these with. They have more. They say it's a 15% difference. You can feel the pressure in it, but 15% pretty negligible. I guess that's the right word. I don't know. All right, here we go. Put the pressure, the clutch plate back on with the push rod. It just slides right in there. There we go. Now, if you wanted to, you can measure these to see if their free length is within specs, because springs over time they shrink and it starts messing up your clutch. I don't think that was the problem. I think my clutch plates themselves, that was the problem. These clutch spring bolts, they're gonna come in. You want to do it, put them in, and then you want to be in a star pattern. And again, we're going to start tightening them down in star pattern, 1/4 turn at a time. Nothing jerky, so don't swing that, your wrench. It's slow, each one in a nice star pattern where you're putting everything in nice and evenly. Now to specs, according to the manual, we have to put this in for, like, I believe it is 87 inch-pounds. All right. So what I did was, up to this point, I put back the entire exhaust and everything like that. Everything's put together. The last step, because remember this, oil and my coolant, my water pump's in here, so I had to drain my coolant. I'm going to switch out the toxic green coolant with this blue non-toxic coolant. But what you have to do first is you have to flush out your system to get all the green stuff out before I could put the blue stuff. So basically what I did there is I put distilled water, very specific, distilled water into my radiator, and I washed it out 3 times until the water was coming out clear. That took a little while because I had to wait 2 to 3 hours on each time to, for it to cool down so I could take the radiator cap off. Some of this says you have to remove the fuel tank, but the only thing I had to do was really untighten those bolts, remove it, and just slide the tank back just enough so I could put my funnel inside the radiator where the radiator cap goes. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill this up, which is supposed to be really good stuff on this, is this engine ice. It's already diluted 50-50, so I don't have to mix it. Great, even easier on me. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pour this in, shake the bike to get all the bubbles out so I can bleed my cooling system. Then I'm going to start her up, let it run till it gets hot, kind of tip it off over there. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, it's time road test. Yeah, so I made sure that my clutch lever is within spec at 2 to 3 millimeters of free play, which I have right there. All right, here we go. So pull the clutch in. Wow, I can feel the stiffer springs already. It shifted to first. That's a positive. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna go through the same test I did before, which is flatland. Then I'm gonna go uphill, downhill, all that good stuff, and then finally on the freeway, see how that works. So the oil that I'm using, per the clutch manufacturers, don't use full synthetic. I'm not going to. I'm going to use, I actually had a blend, half and half. So let's see how that works out. Let me see, go around this corner. I'm not going to do any Moto Jitsu stuff right now. I'm just going to, because I'm going to break in my clutch. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we are, uphill from a stop. I got my bike in first gear. Here we go, revs high. See what happens. Very cool. Not bad. Not bad. Didn't notice any slipping, so that's good. Now I guess the next step is street speeds. I got a good street right over here that goes about 45 miles an hour. It's gonna be a good test right here. I'm gonna make a right hand turn up that really steep hill right over there. Let's see how my clutch goes, because last time it would slip when I'm going up a hill like that. So let's take a look. Okay, first, second. So the last time the clutch, see how I'm able to accelerate positively. My last clutch, when it was burning out, it would slip right here. And here, the chugging sound, that means that it's gripping because the engine has to work. Yes, believe it or not, that's actually a positive sign that my clutch is gripping. All right, well, I'm on the freeway, going 65 miles an hour, and I'm barely having to rev the throttle like I did before. So far, this is nice. I do notice though the Kevlar clutches are a lot grabbier, and I can hear the engine. It doesn't sound like the RPMs are crazy high like it was before. It's like, but I'm taking it easy though. I'm not good, because I I'm pretty sure that there's a clutch break-in period. It's nice, easy on the throttle, you know, clutch control, nice and smooth, nothing hard, slow hands. So in end state and all this other stuff, I probably spent in parts alone probably about $250, $270. That's with the coolant, the oil, the clutch, the gaskets, everything. And then of course when I went to my local mechanic to get an idea of what the labor was, he said for cruisers it's about 3.5 hours of labor at $100 an hour at the minimum. So I'm looking at $350. So was it? I said 250 plus 350. I'm looking into 600s, maybe even 700s. What I got from this, which is invaluable, is I got to learn a lot about my bike and get over the hurdles about actually fixing my bike. To me, that's priceless. So for $250, hey, money well spent. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, if you got anything from this video, please like and share, and of course smash that subscribe button. That'd be totally appreciated. And of course, until next time, peace.